bigger equipment, like if your the part of the motherboard is a bit big, I can use this. But for this one with the sharp edge, it helps me with the smaller ICs and all that. I have my soldering lead. I have my soldering paste. I have my stopper. All these are parts of my soldering tools. Also, that is usually because of dust. Also, your brands too. If dust affects it, you can basically not be able to use it well. I have my hot glue gun. This is my hot glue gun. I have my wire stripper. I have my brush. And I have this two plastic equipment. You know the laptops we have now? They are usually very flat. And also if you're changing the screen, you need something like this. So you don't have to use the metal ones. Even if you're not changing the screen, if you're opening a laptop or anything, you need this to help you make it easier so that it will not break. So that it will not break, because you have to be careful when you're opening the computer. It's not something you just open anyhow, so that you not damage another equipment. I have my microfiber towel for cleaning, and this also universal foam for cleaning as well. This cannot be used in things like your keyboard. You can use it in your keyboard if you're being careful, but I'd advise for you to be very careful when you're using this, because it has a bit of liquid in it, and your keyboard in your laptop hardly well, if you use a liquid on your keyboard, it might stop working. Then we have some other tools that you can easily get, like your motherboard tester and all that. Next, we have the components of a computer. The components of a computer. We have various components, and they come in different types. Like there are some parts, basically like the keyboard, like the hard disk drive. It can either be a hard disk drive or a solid state drive. What I mean by hard disk drive, these are hard disk drive. This one is for your desktop computer, that's your system units. This one can be used on your system units, and this can be used on your laptop. So this one that is a laptop RAM, we have the DDR1, then this is the DDR2, we have the R3 RAM, this is for laptop, we have the PC4 RAM, this is the R2 RAM, also we have wireless cards. You know, in your laptop, you work with network most times. So what helps you to get network on your laptop? That's the internet. It's usually this wireless card. There are some that are smaller, because the new laptops we have now, those ones that are slimmer, they have a bit of smaller, like the wireless card is smaller than this. Okay, we also have the fan. The cooling fan, which helps your processor. It helps cool down your processor. You know what we call the CPU, the central processing unit, is actually the brain of the computer. It helps your computer, like it's the one that does the work. It collects the inputs, translates it, and tell your computer what to do. So So once it's working, it's usually very hot. This cooling fan, as you can see, it has what we call an heat sink. This heat sink transfers the heat. This covers the CPU. This heat sink transfers the heat from here, then blows it out because this vent faces out. Then you will see if you take your laptop or thereabout, you see that there's a small opening by the side. Usually for this, and there are some laptops that has just the heat sink. You see there's an opening. This fan blows out the heat that is being transferred from this heat sink. Also, we have what we call the CMOS batteries. I think basically we have the power units. The power units will be displayed. You see it in my slide. PCU. Okay, also the integrated circuits and then the central processing units, which I told you about already. They are components of a computer. Next, we are going to look at the common computer issues and troubleshooting. For this one, I did a bit of research and I also looked into the things that people come in to tell me about the common things they come to me about, and sometimes this could be just little things. I don't know. Before I go on, I'd like to know the age group that is in this streaming, that is live right now. Please type in your age group. Let's know your age and location, please. Age and location, please. Okay. Imagine the satisfaction of fixing your own computer without waiting for expensive repairs. You can just be in your house and it might just be a little thing, something like the black screen. There's one we call the blue screen of death, which will be displayed for you to see. The blue screen of death, or maybe your computer freezes. I have most people coming to me most time now, my computer is very slow. Before I'll be able to do anything on the computer, it takes forever. And then we have people that will tell me they can just hear a sound in their computer, in their laptops. They will be hearing the clicking sound and all that. All these are part of what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to move on to the practical aspect, the interesting part of this. I'm going to start with how to replace your RAM, your random access memory, which we have here. This, I introduced it earlier on. So replacing today, I'm going to use an HP EliteBook 8460 laptop. I'm going to use this. Let me show you what it's showing. Sometimes when you put on your laptop and it's displaying a black screen like this, it's not coming on, then you see things like your lights, the lights on the keyboard might be on, the lights, the charging light and everything might be on, but it's not displaying anything. That's what we call the black screen, the black screen. So this could happen due to different reasons. It might not necessarily be the RAM. Sometimes it might be that the screen is bad. Sometimes it might be that there's a power short circuit. Sometimes it might just need you to drain out the electricity in the computer. For you to drain out the electricity in the computer, first and foremost, you need to I'm forcing the laptop to go off by holding onto the power button. For you to do this, for you to drain out the electricity, the first thing you need to do is remove your battery. Every laptop, there are some laptops that come in with inbuilt battery. For you to do this, for me to show you this, you attend how to drain out the ones with inbuilt battery. Make sure you attend our advanced training. So I've removed my battery. I use this button because you can easily see on the laptop that there's a battery indicator on this. So I'm going to slide it. Sliding it this way means I'm pushing it open. I've removed my battery. If you have your charger plugged in, you remove your charger as well. This is the charging port. So once you've done this, you open the laptop, then press your back power button for like 30 seconds to drain out every electricity. This draining out helps your laptop to reset itself sometimes, so that sometimes if you have a black screen, it might just be that the laptop needs to reset and all that. So once you drain it out for 30 seconds, sorry, I was not counting. Let's count together, please. 1. You can count in your mind, or you can just decide to count out, but I'd advise counting in your mind because you don't know who is watching you at that moment. So you can just drain it out for 30 steps, by the way. Next, I'm powering it off. Next, we are going to try the RAM, which is what I spoke about before. So I'm sliding it open again for the battery. For this 8460 is actually a simple system to work with because you don't need to lose. I basically have not used my screwdriver in this laptop because you don't have to really lose it for you to work on it. For you to get to the hard drive and the RAM, this is HP like 8460 as I mentioned earlier. For you to get to that, you don't need to use your screwdriver. There's another indicator for the back cover here. So I'm going to slide. It's the other way. This is for the battery. You see an indicator there. Then this is for the back cover. So you're going to slide it downward as well. Then push this down. So we've opened our computer, our laptop. As I introduced earlier, we have our cooling system. That's the cooling fan. We have our RAM, we have our wireless card. This is a Bluetooth card as well. The heatsink I introduced, so definitely our processor is under this. Then for this, it's 460, there's an indicator there for you. So just pull this, then you get to the hard drive. This is the hard drive, and for now, actually I'm going to use my screwdriver if I'm going to replace the hard drive. But what we are replacing now to test is the RAM. So we can close this back, make sure it clicks to be sure it's well covered. Then this is our RAM. For you to replace this RAM, you have to have another RAM. I have 2 different RAMs here. So, but I'm going to use this one because this is the new one. This is actually a used one, so we are not too sure of it working, but I'll use the new one to replace it. Replacing it, for you to replace this, for you to replace it, you have 2 clips holding down the RAM. So you can use this plastic. This is a plastic. To avoid any electric shock or causing an electric short circuit and others. So you use this. Push this backward because this clip is holding it. Push this backward as well. You see, it was lifted. The RAM was lifted after I pushed the 2 clips. So once you've done this, you pull it out. Once you pull it out, you keep it apart. Then my new RAM. You put in the new RAM. You can use any of the ports. It has 2 ports. There's some laptops that comes with 1 port, but this one has 2 ports. So I can use either one to replace the RAM. You put this in. Make sure you push it in so that it will stay in place. Once you've pushed it in, you push it downwards. Once you've done this, we'll go back to get my motherboard is a bit dusty, which is what will introduce us to how to use your vacuum. My vacuum looks like this, very portable because I can't be carrying something heavy in case it falls. for you to clean your motherboard. This is my vacuum cleaner. You can use it to it has a brush that can help you dust out this, so then it sucks out all the dirt. But you have to be careful. If you're brushing it, make sure you're not pushing the dust back to another. Sorry. If you're brushing, I don't know if you could hear me while the vacuum was on, but if you're using this vacuum and the brush on it, you have to be careful so that the brush does not push the debris to another part that might not work. You can see that my RAM is here, my RAM port is here. What if I'm brushing it out and then the debris gets in? It can stop the RAM from working as well. So you use your vacuum cleaner and be careful with it. For me to get this completely clean, we need to take our time. But for now, I've been able to clean it a bit. Most of the dust is out. So that's done. Once you're done with this, you get the back cover. You know we replaced our RAM, so we get the back cover. You know I slide there, and when I was opening it, I had to slide down. So you slide it up. Then just like I did for the battery previously, the lock is just towards the right hand side. You lock it to ensure it does not come off while you're doing other things. Then I put in my battery back. Make sure it clicks in, then lock it as well. We are testing for display. We are working on the black screen aspect. So it's on now. As you can see, it displayed. So that means the problem was our RAM, which was what we replaced. Meaning the one that was in there previously was bad. So once, I believe right now you know how to replace your RAM. The steps are currently on the slide. You turn off your computer and unplug all cables. Open the screwdriver, open the casing using a screwdriver, though I didn't need to use a screwdriver for this specific one. I have my precision set and different types of screwdriver here. So I would advise if you're buying a screwdriver, get a set like this, so that you don't have to get any knots worn out while you're trying to force any screwdriver you have, using it to loosen the laptop or desktop. So our laptop is currently working. Then you locate, the third step is you locate the RAM slot and release the clips, which was what I did. You remove the old RAM, and insert the new one, which is what I put in. You close the case, reconnect all cables and the battery. Okay? So the next one is we are learning how to replace your hard drive, your bad hard drive. I'm also using a laptop for this. Let's use the same laptop. I'm going to make sure I shut down properly. There's an error message that a faulty laptop gives, which should be shown on the screen as well. But that error is not on this right now because this hard drive is currently working. But I'm going to use this to show you how to replace your hard drive. The error message will be displayed. While I'm shutting down, I'm going to explain a few things. There are some times when it's not necessarily when you know, there's a certain way to know that your hard drive is bad. Most times you see people coming to meet me telling me that their laptop is making a clicking sound, and it's usually close to where the hard drive is. It might be a faulty hard drive. And there are some times where we have the blue screen updates, and it might just be an operating system problem. For an operating system problem, I'd advise, okay, for this hard drive part, I'd advise you get flash drives to make bootable operating system. Make your flash a bootable flash. And also, sometimes it might just be that you need to prepare. Sorry, for the bootable flash drive, if you come for our advanced training, I'll show you how to make a bootable flash drive. You need to have something like this, because at times it might just be you need to test the hard drive. This is a casing, a SATA casing. There are different types of hard drive. We have the SATA and the IDE, but nowadays we don't use IDE again. Usually for those our old laptops. Sorry. This is the inner part of the casing, the SATA casing. We have this. You can separate it. This is my hard drive. You can get this casing like this without the hard drive. You can buy it in the computer accessory shops. Once you get this casing, it's very necessary as an engineer, because you need to test this hard drive and just not. You don't need to conclude that hard drive is bad, and also you can use it to back up your hard drive. In case your laptop is not coming up, for you to back up your hard drive on another laptop, you need this. This M2 and this M2 comes with its own case. It has a casing as well, which you can get in the computer accessory store as well. So you need to have this. Okay, we are moving on to replacing the hard drive. My laptop is completely shut down right now. So we close this, we close the lid. Then remember the steps. Ensure you remove your battery. This is the battery indicator. My battery is removed. I'll slide down the back casing as well. Slide it down, open it. Remember I showed you how to open the hard drive part. Pull, open. As you can see, if you can see clearly, this hard drive part has a screwdriver nut. So I definitely need my screwdriver now. Remember my screwdriver set. I'm going to take this, but you don't use just any screwdriver. You have to look at the nuts there. Ensure that you know the exact type of screwdriver, because I have different types here with different numbers on it. You check to ensure you know the right screwdriver to use. This is my main screw holder. Then what I have here is a star screwdriver and star nut, sorry. I'm going to use this. For me to use the screwdriver, I have to loosen this for this exact screwdriver set. Then I'll loosen it. I've loosened the three knots here. You see there's another flip here. This flip is for you to pull it back. There it is. My hard drive is here. So replacing this, usually it comes with the nuts in the 4 sections. You will loosen the nuts, then pull out your screw. But before you pull out your hard drive, ensure you look carefully to know the position the hard drive is. So when you're putting the next one, you know how to put it. So this is my I want to replace it with this hard drive. This is a 500 gigabyte hard drive. You can easily tell because it's written here. You check to see. And then this is a 640 gigabyte hard drive. It's actually small. I doubt you'll be able to see it. Very small. Remember the position of the hard drive, the previous one that was removed. You know this part was showing. This is the previous one that was removed. This part was showing. What was hidden. So we're going to, and you know this part was upwards. So we're going to put this back. Then the same way you removed it, you put it in. Then use your screwdriver again. Tighten the knots. Once you tighten the knot, you cover it back. Make sure you hear a click sound to ensure that the hard drive covering is well seated. Put back your put your back cover back in. Lock it. Then your battery. Usually when you change the hard drive, you're supposed to have your operating system at hand. We have different types of operating system. We used to have the XP. I don't know if it's still available. The XP, we have the Linux, we have the Windows. We have, in the Windows, we have Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, and Windows 11. Because if you're getting a new hard drive, you need to put in a new operating system on it. So I've replaced this. That's simply how to replace the hard drive. I don't have an operating system on this hard drive that was placed in, which you use once you've gotten the operating system. You use your bootable flash drives. You can actually use a CD-ROM, but most laptops they don't have the CD ports, compact disc ports. This is the compact disc port. So this is the compact disc box. Okay, this is not on, so it's not coming out. Usually it's by the side of your laptop, this port. Okay, see. Right now I have an error message because there is no bootable, that's the operating system, there is no bootable Windows on it. That's usually the error message your laptop gives when there is no operating system or when your hard drive is bad. Okay, then my step-by-step guide, which is being shown on the slide right now for replacing the hard drive, is first and foremost backup important data. This backup is necessary because what if your hard drive is totally bad? How do you get your documents? How do you get your music and everything, like important documents you have on the hard drive? So I usually advise that you don't need to wait for your hard drive to be bad. Do a constant backup. Always have a backup. And usually I hear people say that they backed up to their external hard drive and all that. But you can also back up to cloud backup to make it more secure. I believe because this external hard drive, except you're using an SSD, but all equipment usually fail. But cloud, if you have it on your cloud, you can have it forever. Most of us shy away from backing up to cloud because some of this cloud storage requests for payments and all that. But why not? If you want your document saved, except it's a document that is not really important to you. So the first step is backup important data. Important being the keyword here. Open the case and locate the hard drive, which we did. Remove the whole hard drive, disconnect the cables. There are some laptops that come with cables when you have your hard drive there, but this one just needed us to slide back, then we were able to remove our hard drive, insert the new hard drive and connect the cables, which we did, though ours was to slide it back in, close the case and restore data from your backup, which was the first step. So next, we are going to learn how to replace our screen, our laptop screen. For that, I'm not working with my 8460p HP laptop. For this, I am going to work with this. It's a compact laptop. This is the compact CQ58. Compact CQ58 laptop. It uses a 15.6 screen. This is my replacement screen. I'm going to remove this. This is my replacement screen. Okay. Okay. We have to be very careful with this because it is fragile. But before you go to the market to get a screen, what I would advise you to do is to make sure you're using your laptop first and foremost. Make sure you're using your laptop to know, because there are different types. We have different types of screen. We have what we call the paper screen. It's usually flatter than this. But we have some screen that comes with module. We have smaller screen, 15-inch, 14-inch, 11-inch, and thereabout. So you need to loosen your laptop first and foremost to know the exact type of screen you have on your laptop. Or you can choose to take the easy way out. Google it. Simple. You can just Google the name of your laptop. You can easily know the name of your laptop by locating usually the model number. Where I got the CQ58, it's written here, just beside the screen. It's usually here or behind the laptop. Okay, it's not behind the laptop, but this one is on the screen here. So for you to do this, you need your screwdriver again. I still have my screwdriver, and then I have my screwdriver, and for this, it's still using the star. So I basically don't need to change the screwdriver. You're supposed to loosen this. There's usually a cover on the screwdriver. Different laptops come with different things. The thing is that with patience and precision, you can loosen any laptop, but you have to be careful loosening any laptop. You can, if it's a bad screen, you might feel like you don't have to be careful, but you still have to be careful because behind the screen is usually this camera cable and probably a wireless cable as well. So for you not to cut it, you have to be careful. Any part of a computer you're loosening, be careful. If I'm supposed to loosen the motherboard, I ensure that each and every nut on this laptop goes out. And when lifting it, you can use this plastic. You can use this plastic there. Plastic means that you don't want any electric shock or anything. I like using the plastic. You can see this nut is open, so you can easily use this to loosen. Usually there is a nut under the keyboard as well. You usually have nuts under the keyboard, so before you open it, so you don't have to damage the casing, this plastic case, because if you damage it, it's usually very difficult to replace, except you want to glue it, and gluing is usually not fine. It's usually not nice, not nice looking. So it's better you're careful so you don't damage it. And if you end up being a computer engineer, imagine damaging your customer's laptop while trying to loosen it. What would you explain? How would you explain it? So let's loosen the screen. The nuts are out. I can also use this. Use the plastic. You have to be careful with this screen aspect. So it's open. You can see it's seamless. Careful with it. The frame is out. If you are working on a laptop, ensure you have a big table and a clear workspace so that you don't have to misplace things and all that. This screwdriver set, you can just use this base to keep in your nuts, any of the nuts you losing. Even if you don't have the screwdriver set, you can have a small container to put in every of the nuts you're losing. So we can see the screen. This is the camera. This is the screen flex just below. I don't know if you can see that. This is the hand. Well, just like I said earlier, you can have a wireless cable. This is the wireless cable here. What you do is ensure you're careful with the hinges, because this is what we call the hinges. Those beside the screen, it together and hold it towards the base of the laptop. You loosen this part. It's actually usually very complaining, especially in Nigeria. If I take my laptop out to an engineer shop, my nuts are never complete. That's why we have to be careful. Then the next, once you've loosened this, you can loosen the base as well to ensure it does not break while you're trying to loosen the others. Actually, I love doing, sorry to disappoint you, I'm a woman. I'm losing the base while learning, so I don't have to misplace them. The first thing I did while learning computer engineering, the first time I was taught, I actually studied computer engineering in school, but then I learned a bit more outside future. And for those that just want to know how to fix their laptops, I was trained as well outside school. Yes, I studied computer engineering tech in school, but I was trained outside school as well. And the first thing my trainer told me to do, he actually gave me a working laptop. Laptop was working. He ensured, like he told me to put it on and all that, it was working. They're usually not beside the screen to hold the screen together. So after I ensured that the laptop was working, he asked me to lose the laptop to the last bit, like remove everything there. So I removed everything. Okay, our screen is out. I removed, losing everything. But what he didn't tell me was to take details of every nut I was removing. But being the way I was, I kept every nut aside to know where each one came out from. After loosening the whole thing, I was told to put it back and to be sure it's working and all that. laptop back. By the way, you can set up your own laptop from scratch. You can clone your system. You can just buy the parts at cheaper price, set it up. You buy your motherboard, buy a compatible processor, buy a compatible RAM, buy a compatible hard drive, the fan, the casing, all those things you can easily get them. I think the easiest place to get them is usually AliExpress or thereabout. AliExpress or those other ones. You can get these parts, clone your system yourself, make your own system. Okay, I remember I said earlier on that if you have any question why we are having this training, you can type it in the chat box. I don't know if some people came in late, so they know that. Please type in your question. No question is done. Because believe me, the question you're planning to ask, another person has it in mind to ask. So no question is done, and we are all here to learn. So my screen is out. This is the screen flex. This is what we call screen flex. It connects from the screen to the motherboard. Remember I told you, ensure your screen is the same thing. We usually have different type of flex ports. There are some that are a bit smaller than this, and there are some that are wider. I think things like if you Google it up, I think those the older laptops, the ones we have then, they have a wider screen port, usually around the top part, the wider one, and it comes with something like a clip. But these ones, they don't. They are smaller. There's actually another one that is smaller than this. So this is my screen. This is my flex. There's a tape here. You open the tape, then pull it down. Be very careful whenever you're doing anything on the laptop. This is the whole screen, and this is the one we are replacing it with. So actually, as I was saying, we are going to clip back the flex here. Having to loosen the laptop that my trainer asked me to loosen. It was actually not a challenge because around in engineering, use another tape. Sorry, I forgot to mention earlier. A tape is part of an engineering, so you have to have a tape. You can have the transparent one. So since this pull out on its own and all that, so you can use another tape. We need just a bit. Please ask your questions, and please, as I said earlier on, if you've ever replaced a part in your laptop or someone's laptop, tell us your experience. And I didn't really have enough knowledge of how to fix it. I didn't have the YouTube, I didn't have the Google and all that. So we are still going to be very careful. So I destroyed the first laptop I used, but it actually helped me get better. I'm not asking you to destroy your laptop. It helped me be better at what I do. Be careful with the screen because the screens are very, very fragile. Another thing is, if you're using a screwdriver, try to get a magnetic one so your nut does not fall down. I hope we have notes or something to take down these precautions, because Precautions are very, very necessary as a computer engineer. Very necessary. You have a lot of precautions you need to take. I'm starting with the side knots. Starting with the side knots. Be very careful. Make sure you're always careful. I am working with computers actually teaches you how to be patient, because there are times when you meet a problem that is something you don't expect. It's just like mathematics. Every engineer, do you know why they need mathematics? Like, there are lots of, just like I mentioned earlier about the logic circuits and all that, we have a lot of calculation in engineering, which makes people run away most times. There are lots of people that go to the university, I want to study computer engineering, halfway through they change their mind. You don't have to change your mind. For mathematics, just like I do with computer engineering, I tell myself I love it. There's something about mindsets. Once you tell your mind you can do something, it tends to do it. It tends to push through all limits, and you do it. For our tech, there's a saying that we say at our robotic engineering lab, that if you can think it, you can make it. Believe you can do it. Sorry, you have to be seeing what I'm doing. Believe in yourself. Tell yourself you can do it. There's no limits to what you can do. Computer engineering is actually fun. It challenges you. There are situations that there are some laptops I'll have to fix overnight. It's that challenging. I have to take my time, study it well. At the end of the day, it might be just something very simple, something unexpected. We are tiny. While you're fixing the screen, remember there's a knot on the frame here and here. You check, put it on to check to be sure you're not tying a knot on the inner part. The knot has to come out. It has to be on the outer part. So I can see I put a knot in the wrong part here. So you actually have to check at every step. I have to loosen this back. It's on the wrong part. You have to check to ensure you're not putting things on the wrong part. Okay. Mark out where the knot is meant to be. Tighten the knot. So computer engineering, robotic engineers, and all that, they are not. It might be something challenging, but it's not something difficult. Just like I said earlier, you can clone your own laptop. You can decide to build your own laptop, just like the robotic engineers. They build. I'm done with the nuts, so I put in the frame back. They just think of something that can be beneficial to others, to the community as a whole. They put up things together, build it up. Engineers, computer engineers, they basically do that as well. people like Charles Babbage, they didn't start one day. They thought of it actually, but they didn't start one day. You see, I'm pressing the edges. I'm pushing down the edges. These edges are actually, there's things like a clip. So I'm pushing it down to help hold the screen together and all that. But I am being careful. Don't push it down too much so you don't damage the screen. And that is how. So you tie the last knot, which is actually currently absent here. And with that, we are done replacing the screen. Well, I showed you this cleaning before, so you make your work very neat. It enable, and you have a microfiber towel to make your work very neat. If you're using this, ensure your keyboard is actually covered. This can actually be used to clean the keyboard and all that, but I usually advise people don't use this on the keyboard because you have to know how to use it before you can use it. So I'll push this backwards to clean it so that my work will look very neat. You shake this because there's a foam inside. It has a kind of fragrance and it has cleaning liquids. It's a foam, but there's liquid in it. It's used for surface of machine, metals, plastics, various office equipment, including computer. So we can use it for our laptops. You can spray it, but be careful spraying it. Your keyboard is important. Once you've done that, you twirl, you clean. I'm using it on the screen, not on the keyboard. There's some foam left on it, so you can use this to clean the side part of the keyboard. Or if you want, you can apply it to the towel directly. Apply it to the towel directly. Tap it. Please, your questions. Type in your question. I'm waiting for the experience. Because I believe at least one of us have been able to replace something. And if you've not, at least you've learned how to replace something today. Take a look at this. Very clean. Very neat. Using this. So our screen looks all clean and all that, and that is how you replace a laptop screen. On my slide, the step-by-step guide, it says you turn off your computer, unplug all cables, open the screen case using a screwdriver, which was what we did, unplug the screen flex, I showed you the flex, remove the old screen, sorry, excuse me, and insert a new one. Then you close the case and reconnect all cables. That is how to replace a laptop screen. So the next slide, okay, before the next slide, I believe today we've learned how to replace some basic components and troubleshoot common issues. Remember, a steady hand and a bit of patience go a long way. Patience, the key word. So on the next slide, we are going to talk about putting my laptop back in. On the next slide, we are going to talk about our upcoming events. Just like the title of this training is, we took the basic computer hardware engineering, basic being the keyword here. For you to learn more, the advanced training is coming up. That's what we call the upskill computer engineering, where I'll show you how to clone the system that I said earlier on, how to make the bootable flash, how to test your hard drives or possibly repair them. We're going to deal with programming, we're going to do robotics, we're going to do UI UX design, artificial intelligence. It's a boot camp. There are lots and lots of things for you to do. We're going to do a lot. We're going to even dive a bit into Arduino. We're going to dive a bit into Raspberry Pi. Those are things you can just Google up and see. We have a lot. And if you're an upcoming computer engineer, you have a lot to learn. Before we go today, I'm going to show you the equipment once again, the tools needed by an engineer. You basically don't have to get all this. I previously did not show you. This in here is actually in a water bottle, but it's not water. This is fuel. You need this. This is tina. It's not Coke. It's in a Coke bottle, but it's tina. It's usually used to clean the motherboard and all that. This is usually preferable. This cleans more, but this is preferable because this is strong. This is very strong chemical. And when you're using all this, you use a nose mask to avoid inhaling the chemicals, especially this. Once again, my tools, we have, I'm yet to get my questions. I need the questions. Type in your question. I'm yet to get my, okay, I've gotten one question. I'm waiting for the experience. While trying to replace the key hardware. Okay, this person, the question goes like this. I plugged in my laptop to the HDMI plug of my projector and nothing was displayed on screen. The projector was not recognized by my system. Have you checked this? You have to troubleshoot this. Did you check the HDMI cable? Is it working with another laptop? Did you check if your driver is working? There are some software we call the drivers to ensure some components in your system are working properly. Sound, network connector. Basically, some things on the system for it to work properly, you need drivers. We call them drivers. You can easily download these drivers, or you go to Device Manager, right click on the exact, you look for, once you get to Device Manager, I'm going to show you these steps, step-by-step methods, how to even use command prompts during the upskill computer engineering. You go to your Device Manager, right click on the right this thing, just like the HDMI, you right click on the projection, click on Update Drivers. The system can, if you have a network connection at that moment, the system can automatically update it. Or sometimes there are some drivers that are already inbuilt on the laptop. You can just click on let my computer pick from the system. Once you click on this, the driver automatically takes the right driver from the laptop itself or desktop or computer, anyone. Then it installs it. Or you can download, go online, download, or also you can use the Windows updates to get the driver. And again, is it just this question? There are a lot of things you need to troubleshoot properly. Is it just did you click, once you plug in your laptop, once you plug in an HDMI to your laptop, you need to click on Windows and P together to select the right one. We have different steps. We have duplicate, we have extend, we have show only second screen. It might be that once you plug in your HDMI, it's on just the show my PC alone. So you need to change it to duplicate screen. Okay, so you said the HDMI works with other systems, so you need to try the drivers. Try a driver. You can go online and download drivers. You can use things like SDI updates. You can use driver booster. You can use, there are different types of driver. Or you're going to just go online, Google your exact laptop, the exact laptop you're using. Google it and check for the driver for this specific projection. Check for the drivers. Okay, since the HDMI works with other systems, check for the drivers. If this does not work, after you've tried this, if it does not work and you've done the Windows P, if this does not work, pick your laptop on. Let me show you an example. The HDMI port is here. Just check on it. Check to ensure none of the pins are broken and all that. If you just check it, check your HDMI port to ensure none of the pins are broken. But I believe it's a driver issue. Once you click on Windows P, I'd like to know, I don't know if you're still online, I'd like to know what it's showing exactly once you click on Windows P, if you can send that to us. Okay, I was showing you our tools once again. Wire stripper, our big screwdriver. I use this usually for desktops, for projectors, for use. Then my soldering paste again, my workstation as a whole. This is my set of screwdriver. Once you're done working, please replace your equipment so you don't have to be looking for your screwdriver at the next. This is actually a processor paste. It looks like an injection, but it's not an injection. This helps cool down your processor. Just like I said with the fan, this, if you look towards here, you see something that looks harsh in color, or gray rather. It's actually the processor paste. It helps in cooling down the processor as well. I have my tape. I think we have lots more. We had other tools, most of which you will see. I have my plastic for removing things. Okay, someone has a question here. He said, I have a hanging system. Despite the memory being very much available, how can I solve the problem? Hanging system, that means when you're using your system, it takes forever to work with, things like that. There are lots of, okay, you said you've increased the memory. The memory, I don't know, is it the RAM or is it the hard drive you increased? Memory storage can be different types. But then, there's something I noticed, which this exact type of hard drive. There are times when this hard drive is weak, so you might need to replace them for a new one. If it's weak, it tends to be slow. And another thing is that there are different ways for you to speed up your laptop. Did you defragment? That's one thing. You have to defragment, like, occasionally. I'll show you how to do that once you come for our advanced training. So this hard drive might be weak. Another thing is we have disk cleanup. You can use disk cleanup. You can use disk cleanup or replacing the hard drive. There are lots of ways to speed up your system, your laptop once it's being slow. And again, your OS or virus might be the issue. OS or virus might be an issue. Just troubleshoot and check any of check for any of the issues. You can try using any of the possible solutions I've given you. The defragmentation, disk cleanup, even processor speed. That is actually another step. You can speed up your processor, but it's another step that I will have to show you. It's not something we can do in today's basic computer hardware training. There are different ways, or replace another hard drive to know how it goes. So for the HDMI, don't worry, we're going to answer your questions even if you don't answer today. So if you found today's session helpful, join us in the advanced training where we'll dive more into complex repairs and upgrades. Before we wrap up, feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to reach out to us at info@miraisha.com or call us, and then the number will be sent to you. If you think of something later, just send it to us and through the email or the contact. Thank you for participating, and I hope to see you at our other programs, which was listed. Sorry, please, the form will be sent to you, a feedback form. You tell us how we did today, if you're interested in our programs. Please, the programs are going to be interesting, I assure you. We are talking about robotics. We are talking about IT as a whole, which is something that is like the happening thing in Nigeria right now. So let me list them again. We have the upskill computer engineering, we have the robotics, we have the VEX training, we have the drone engineering, we have the UI UX design, we have the artificial intelligence, and others. There are lots that is upcoming, and I hope you will be a part of it. Thank you for today's program, and I hope to see you at our other. Okay, sorry, I have one more question. Our questions, if you still want more, we still have our time. Please send me your question. Sometimes my laptop screen flickers when I update my VGA. Are you sure you're using the right driver? And flickers, you saw I don't know if you were there when we were doing the changing of screen, but you saw the flex, the way we showed the flex. If it's something you can do on your own, I believe you can do it on your own. I don't know the type of laptop you're using. Check the flex to ensure. Probably the tape holding it is a bit weak. You can get a tape to hold it together. Also, the driver, like I said, ensure it's the right driver. I would suggest you use the device manager, the way I told you to update, or use Windows Update. If you cannot, or you Google it and download the exact driver for your VGA. Are there any other questions? Please, questions. Okay, a link has been sent to you now for feedback, on this training, and probably what you would like to learn at your next training. I personally might not be the one to tell you what you want, but then you can do a research and try to get things that you would like to be taught in the next training, in the upskill computer engineering training. Though I promise you it will be fun, it will be physical, you're going to be here to do it. You're going to be here to use all these tools I've been showing you. You will be able to hold it physically and then work with it. I'm going to basically show you each and every equipment of a laptop or a computer, any of them, each and every equipment, their functions, their uses, how to get them easier, how to get them cheaper, and all that. Any other questions? Please, we're waiting for questions. If there are no other questions, I'd like to invite the MD of Miraisha Foundation to give you a bit of talk. They are basically the funders of this training, and they are using this medium to empower a lot of us here today. Because you basically cannot just decide to use the office work, earn my salary end of the month. You can do this as a side hustle to fund yourself. Let's welcome the Miraisha Foundation MD in person of Mr. Biliami. Welcome.
is Miraisha, the acting DG Miraisha Foundation. I want to use this medium to first of all appreciate and commend the efforts of our facilitator for today's training. She has really done well. In fact, right from the beginning of the training, have also been following online, and she have really did a very good job. So also our participants who were able to participate in this very training, we really appreciate your efforts. But we want to let you know that our upcoming events, just like the upskill computer engineer training, we have also the robotics trainings. Those ones will be more, will be more deep. The facilitators are going to actually dive into those topics very, very well. Those topics will be of very, advantage, or let me say important to whoever subscribe to them. It is with this I say thank you very much for attending this very program. And you can also as well go to our YouTube channel, you like, you comment, and you also give us some recommendations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you attending this. Thank you for participating. Bye.